we're doing something slightly different this time. We're actually going to bring you the latest updates for code apps for May and June. So, Charles, take it away.
Thanks, Josh. So Code Apps became generally available back in February, I believe it was, and maybe wasn't quite ready for prime time, but so much has happened since then, and it is changing at a rate of knots. So let's look at what's changed in the past kind of month and a half, because there has been quite a bit. Things have moved on. We've got some changes as far as the command line interface is concerned. We've got mobile app interest, and then we've got some repository issues that could potentially come up. So the first thing is to do with the CLI, the command line interface. So this is when you're writing or pasting in those commands into your terminal. And previously you would have to put the PAC CLI code. So it would be PAC code and then whatever it was. Then it changed to npx power-apps and then whatever you wanted to do. And Josh, it's changed again, right?
It has, yeah. So now we use npm to do this. Is that right, isn't it?
We're using npm, but it's just Power Apps. That's it. So you install your Power Apps package, and then it has the ability to just do power-apps and then whatever you want.
And this brings it more in line with other npm tooling, doesn't it? Rather than having to type npx at the start of everything, you're just using that one command. So it becomes a bit more familiar for developers if they're already using tooling within npm packages. So I really like that. And the other update, what I really like, is the one that was released on June the 3rd, 1.1.9, which is for create a connection. So with this update, that means we no longer actually have to use the interface in Power Platform to create a connection. We can do it within the command line interface. One less thing you need to worry about. I love this. I love the direction this is going. Less cognitive load for me to remember to go here, do this, do that. It's all in one place. Fantastic.
Yeah. So this means that you can just work in VS Code or wherever you feel happiest and not have to leave it. But it also means that if you are automating this kind of thing, that you can actually automate it now. Whereas before you had to go off and create the connection or figure out another way to automate it. This just makes life easier.
I love this. The less amount of click ops for me, the better. And I'm sorry, Microsoft, I don't like the interface in Power Platform. It's all over the place. So give me more CLI tooling and I'm very happy.
Yeah, definitely. And here we're just showing like how the commands have changed from that npx to now just Power Apps, which is just, it's so much cleaner. And I wish it was just like this from the start. So unfortunately, this might be quite confusing for people. The people who are just starting with Code Apps, guess what? All you have to do is do power-apps and then space and then whatever command it is you need to do. So nice. So here it's showing the create connection that you were talking about, Josh. And so this is create connection, but what about connection references?
That's an interesting one. I actually don't know the answer to that. Do you?
I believe that you still have to go into the Maker portal to create connection references. So another update, Josh, mobile app compatibility is now there. So I was tracking the GitHub repository for Microsoft Learn or something like that. I was tracking something and I managed to get a signal back from my agent to say, guess what? Mobile apps compatibility might be there now. And so I went and checked and I loaded it up in the Power Apps app on my mobile phone and it worked perfectly. So this is awesome news. It's so good because this was one of the things holding us back. But as with all of these kinds of things, there are still some limitations and nuances. So Power Apps for Windows is not supported yet. So if people are using that, then that's unfortunate for them. To be honest, I don't know of anyone that's using it. Another issue is potentially the layout might not be quite correct when you're loading it in the Power Apps app on your mobile phone. So there's someone who's been using it on Android and they've noticed that the layout behavior wasn't quite right. They reported that on the repository. Microsoft have acknowledged it and are fixing it. So that's going to be fixed very quickly. But I guess the point is just that the compatibility is there, but maybe it's not robust yet.
Yeah, it'll come, I'm sure. I love this though. I love to see the Power Apps mobile app is included. That Code Apps is getting some love, and we can run these apps on the Power Apps mobile app. It's going to make managing apps are mobile first very easy. And we've had Code Apps on the browser as responsive apps from the moment that they were available. So it's been really nice to do that, and you can still load up a web browser on your phone or your mobile device and do it that way. but this just makes it feel just a bit more integrated as part of the platform. So I really love that.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm curious about is like how far are Microsoft going to take it as far as native mobile features are concerned? Like how deeply can they integrate a code app into the mobile phones ecosystem? But also, like, are code apps going to remain as part of something that you launch from the Power Apps mobile app? Or maybe Microsoft might decide, well, actually, we can make this so that you can package it as a proper app, which I think is the way that they should go. But yeah, I think is that kind of thing is a kind of watch this space, because no doubt Microsoft are doing something special there.
Yeah, and any viewers out there that have used the wrap feature, do let us know if it works for code apps, because that's probably the closest we'll get to that. And yeah, it'd be interesting to see. I've not tried it, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see if it does or doesn't work. Next up, we've got the new PAC release planner sample that's been released, which I find again a really nice value add for being able to keep up with just what's happening in this space. There's so much going on, so much change that I personally cannot keep up to date and keep on top of all of that. There's so much since AI has taken over. There's just been so much stuff that it's impossible to keep on top of it. So this makes it a bit easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm yet to install this. It does sound quite interesting. And I'm glad that the Copilot Studio agent is an option rather than you being forced to use it. Because, of course, if you're forced to use it, there's going to be a lot of people who aren't going to be able to. Although we're lucky enough to have some credits available at Power Squared, so we could use that. But yeah, it's quite an interesting idea. And it's good to know that PowerCast are doing things with code apps as well, because that's a good sign for the future. So another thing that came up is to do with the actual repository itself. So the repository for code apps, and that there are issues constantly being put into the repository about different things. And if you're working with code apps, it's a good idea to just keep an eye on that repository. Or if you can't be bothered, just watch Power Squared, of course, and we'll tell you. So yeah, there are some potential issues about connector generation, potential issues about ALM and solution movement, which could be the biggest ones. Just to keep an eye on these types of things. If you do have a bug, the best place to go is that code apps repository. Do a search for it and see if someone else has talked about it. And if they haven't, please do submit a bug report, because everyone who does that, they're going to make code apps better for everyone else. So it's worth it. So yeah, that's really the main thing there. Just be aware that lots is going on in the repository. Let's see how many issues there are. There are 41 issues at the moment. So it's worthwhile keeping an eye on that and knowing what's going on. So when it comes to the Power Apps package, there is something that I wanted to tell everyone, which is something that's really, really important. And it's that when you're going to go and build your code app, you might be using something like the Quick Start. And through that, it's telling you to get this particular starter app. And if you're going to go and take this particular starter app, which is in their GitHub repository, of course, something you need to be aware of is that in the package.json, it's pointing to an old version of the Power Apps package on NPM. So when you're installing it, if you don't update this, you're installing 1.0.3. And as we saw with the different commands that have come through, there's loads of different updates that have happened to this package. You don't want the old version of the package. What you want is the latest version of the package. And if we're looking at it here right now today, the latest version is 1.2.2. So if you go to this NPM package for code apps, find out what the latest version is, make sure you're on the latest version, and then you'll get access to all of those fixes and all of those updates that Microsoft have published. And this can also be a call out to Microsoft to please, if you're providing starter templates, starter apps, please make sure that they're up to date, because this is not up to date. And on that point again, so Josh, one of the things that we noticed is with the Code Apps plugin that it doesn't automatically update. At the moment, it seems to just be stuck on version 1.0.0. And because it's not being updated, the version number's not being updated, it means that you're not getting the updates automatically as you're supposed to. So Microsoft, when you're updating your plugin, please update the version number so that it automatically updates on people's machines.
Yeah.
Rant over.
I think this is really important though, isn't it? Because when you're wanting to, have a look at the latest and greatest technology and play around with it, you don't want any of these barriers in the way to get going. And these are barriers that are being put up because they're not being updated. So yeah, the sooner they can get updated, the better. So yeah, again, reiterating that plea, please, Microsoft, you're our only hope. Please update it.
Yeah, keep things nice and tidy. So this point here really is just about when you are doing these updates, make sure you have your regression tests in your app. So as you're bringing through new packages to your app, you need to know that you're not breaking something. When you're building your apps, you should always have tests. And when you change something, you should always run those tests again. And you should always have those tests as part of your deployment process as well, making sure that whatever you're deploying is going to be fully tested and robust. So that's just a call out for that. Just make sure you've got tests in there. And if you need help with tests and how you should do that, tell us in the comments, and then we'll put that as something that we're going to teach you about. So Josh, there are some exciting things coming, right, for Code Apps?
There are some really exciting things on the horizon. We're really looking forward to talking about this. So do stay tuned. We will update and provide you with all of that information as soon as we can. And we look forward to showing what they are and how you can use it in your code apps going forward. So do stay tuned. If you haven't liked and subscribe, do that. Leave a comment below. If you want to, know something or have some suggestions for us, do let us know. We'll take it all on board and we'll do our best to continue bringing you this type of content.